With a little preview of what NetSuite is, so a little bit of a PowerPoint, and then I'm going to actually do a brief presentation as well. So to get started, my name is Annette Manias with Oasis Solutions Group, and we have been in business for 25 years, founded in 1991. We have a presence in Louisville, Kentucky, which is our headquarters. We also have a presence in Indiana, Tennessee, and Ohio, and have customers in other states as well, with a total of about 700 customers at this point. At Oasis, our focus is on people and processes more so than what you buy. We understand that what you buy is important because it has to function for your everyday business, but in implementing new software, it's the people behind the implementation that really make a difference and who's going to be there to support you afterwards. So we can help determine what is the best product as well as implement as too. So on our staff, we have CPAs, MBAs, former CFOs, and controllers, and the reason that is important is because we understand business, not just the software. So that makes a difference. You have choices when you implement software, and we think that our experience makes us a good choice. Also, we have about 150 years of combined project management experience with our staff. Again, people and processes are more important than software. We want to partner with our customers to understand their business and determine what is the best fit. So this slide shows you just a few of our team members that would come to the table during an implementation. So myself, we have a couple of senior project managers, and then software developers and Director of Client Services. So these are just a few of the people that come into a project when we do a new implementation on software. So one of the things that people ask me, because we've been in business for 25 years, and obviously 25 years ago, the cloud didn't mean what it means today. So people always ask me, why? Why did we go this direction, and why did we choose NetSuite? And the answer to the first question, why do we go this direction, is because we knew that the market was going this direction. And we knew that we had to grow and evolve with that market as well. And then why do we choose NetSuite? We vetted out about 4 different products that were in the marketplace that were contenders, and decided on NetSuite because most of our customers are distributors or manufacturers, and NetSuite fit into that realm. Also, and you'll see on the next few slides, NetSuite is one comprehensive solution. So it incorporates CRM for your sales staff, marketing automation, along with the accounting pieces, inventory, MRP, some of the other pieces that are traditionally broken out in accounting software. So that's the reason we chose NetSuite. And then going back to technology, we've seen that shift, and we're seeing it again. And 25 years ago, there were mainframe computers. We were just starting in on the desktop computers at that time for businesses, so that was a growing market. 25 years ago, a lot of people still had mainframes, and we dealt with a lot of customers that had mainframes and programmers as well. Then it shifted to client server, where you had a smaller server, and you might have it in a server room or sometimes in a closet. Sometimes we've seen them in people's offices as well, not really secured, but we've seen that. So it evolved to that. And then now we see that evolution again to cloud and mobile computing. So not to say that the client server scenario is going to go away anytime soon. I don't really think it will. We see it still pretty strong. But people are questioning, what should I do with the cloud, and what does that look like? So things are moving in that direction, shifting again. This slide is an interesting slide. So I remember when we first started working with NetSuite, in the first meeting I went to in California, they kept calling this a hairball, because that's what it looks like. So it's, you know, call it what you want, yarn ball, hairball, whatever it is, but basically it represents a lot of, you know, if you think about some companies we've seen where there's so many pieces and it's all entangled together, and to try to untangle it or to upgrade that can be a bit of a hairball. So this slide shows that, where we see a lot of customers are in that scenario. They have a lot of different systems. So what NetSuite does is it pulls everything together into one system. So I have a really good example of that. We have a NetSuite customer that when we went into them a year and a half ago, they had 8 different pieces of software that they were running their business. So they had something for CRM, and they had something else for marketing, and they had something else for accounting. They even didn't even do their inventory in their accounting. They even had another software for their inventory, and they had something else for their projects. They had all these things. It was 8 different software. So we went in and looked at it, and what we ended up with was NetSuite, and then they have another add-on to NetSuite that is for their service trucks that go out and service customers. So they have NetSuite brought all those products into one, and then they didn't have a service module really before NetSuite, and we have a suite. It's called a Suite app, S-U-I-T-E, that is connected with that. So we brought everything together under one system. And so that really is the premise of what NetSuite is. It's one system that can manage your business. So here are just a little bit about NetSuite. They were the first cloud ERP, founded in 1998. So to me, that statement says a whole lot. Because if you think about 1998 and where the internet was in 1998, that's bold to step out as a first cloud ERP in that time frame. And they have been in business since then and growing and just doing really well. So that, to me, that says a lot about the company and the product as well. They're publicly traded. They actually just got bought by Oracle, and they have more than 4,600 employees. At the end of fiscal year 15, they had $740 million in revenue. So, and it's used by 30,000 plus organizations. So if you see on the left-hand side of my screen, those are some of the larger companies that use NetSuite. A lot of them you'll recognize: MetLife, Groupon, Johnson & Johnson, Honeywell, Shaw Carpet, VMware. So there's a lot of different companies that use NetSuite that are large. However, it's also meant for the smaller market as well. So our niche is in what we would call mid-market, where there are companies that are larger, and QuickBooks is not a good fit, but they don't really need something like an SAP that costs $1 million. So that's where we fit, and that's where NetSuite fits as well. It will fit and play in that area well. So again, they have over 30,000 live customers, which means a lot. So those customers are on the system all day long, just like you would just any other ERP as well. So here's some other organizations that use it: Land O'Lakes, Groupon, Billabong. In the middle, you might recognize DocuSign and maybe Wayfair. On the right-hand side, I put just a couple of our customers that are in the Louisville area. So Job News, Kids Club, Smile Direct, Cedar Lake Lodge. Those are just a few of our customers that are using NetSuite. And each of them chose the product and the deployment of it for different reasons. So again, we're just going to do introductory things today. So if we want to get into more of why someone would choose NetSuite, we can do that on a one-to-one basis. So NetSuite is the fastest growing top 10 financial management systems for revenue growth. So they've outpaced a lot of the other products that you see in the marketplace, including Microsoft. So NetSuite is a software company, and we are a solution provider. So Oasis, or people like Oasis, make up 40% of NetSuite's revenues come from their partners. So the advantage that we have is that we know business and we know how to implement software, and we can take you from beginning to end. NetSuite also sells direct to customers and will implement you directly. However, that's not something that they would do for you on site. Most likely it's all remote, and then there is no support afterwards. So it's a little bit of a different model. So what we've seen is people have much better results when they're using a partner of the software like Oasis. So again, a couple different things about cloud software in general. Last ERP upgrade ever. We talked about this several times in earlier sessions, is that products like NetSuite push out the upgrades when they're available. So everyone that is using NetSuite is on the same version. There's no version variances, and so they push out the upgrades into a sandbox where you can test them and make sure that your reports are going to run and any modifications and things like that. We've been NetSuite partners for about 5 years, so we've been through this process with several of our customers over the years, and it really is an amazingly smooth process. I don't know that we've ever had any real hiccups with it, so it's a pretty smooth process. Automatic updates twice a year. So everybody's on a current version of NetSuite, no version lock, and then there's 24/7 device browser agnostic access. So what that means, that big long sentence means, is that I can pull up NetSuite from my phone, no matter what my phone is. If I have an iPhone, an Android, whatever it is, my laptop, my iPad, anything, I can pull up the information because it's just a browser. Very scalable, very flexible, built-in security, and it's always optimized for performance. So very good performance as well. So why do today's businesses choose NetSuite? There's a lot of different reasons why. And again, if you're interested in knowing why some of our customers have made that choice, just let me know, and we'll be glad to talk to you about it. Most of the time it's the platform enables flexibility. There's a lot of intelligence, as you'll see when I show you the software. You'll see that there's a lot of things that are built into it that are native in the product that are attractive as well. And again, customization in the dirty word, automatic upgrades. So if you have a customization to it, it goes along with the upgrade. The technology allows it to be upgraded along with the regular NetSuite. So if you have a Suite app or something that was customized for you, it's just going to go along with the upgrade. And again, upgrades are pushed out into a sandbox first, so you get to test it before you say, yes, I'm ready to go with it. One of the other questions that we always get is it secure? Is it reliable? Is it compliant? And the answer is yes to all of those. So you'll see on my screen that it passes the SSAE 16 audit, SOX audits, ISO, Trust Wave for information security and compliance, And then the bottom part of the screen is when you are a NetSuite customer, you can go in, you have a little portal that you can go in and you can see your uptime and where you are with that. So my average uptime, so that's a screenshot of that. But you can see, I could look and say I want to know from January 2016 to December 2016 what was my uptime. And what they say in the contract is they guarantee 99.99% uptime. So obviously that depends on your internet connection, but the system itself, the software, will be up 99.99% of the time. The other thing that, that I didn't mention on the security is that they have 3 different data centers that are used, and they're redundant. So if something happens with one of them, it will automatically go to the next one. And the places where the servers are stored are secured with guards, people there 24/7, 365. So it's a very secure platform. And they make sure that some of the hackers and things that happen, that they're constantly keeping up with that technology to make sure that that doesn't happen with their system. So, and again, NetSuite was acquired recently by Oracle. So when we heard about this last year, when they started talking about it early in the year, we thought, wasn't that interesting? Because Oracle has always been behind the times on doing anything cloud-based, and they tried to write their own, and it just didn't work. So they said, well, you know, we're just gonna buy it if we can't create it. So they were acquired late in the year last year. And I'm sorry, Dee Dee just told me that that my screen is not visible. So let me see. I apologize. I didn't realize that I wasn't projecting my screen. If someone could send me a message and tell me whether you could see my screen now. Mm-hmm. Okay, I apologize for that. Apparently my screen wasn't showing, stopped showing. So hopefully we can see my screen now. And technical difficulties, I apologize for that. So again, NetSuite is an all-encompassing ERP. It has the CRM built in, different accounting functions, inventory, advanced financials, all that information is built into the system, as you'll see as we go along. So I apologize if some of the other screens you were not able to see, but we're recording this, so you'll be able to see the screens. We can also send out the PowerPoint later as well. So some of the features of NetSuite are financial management, supply chain, order management, inventory, services, resource planning, and then some procurement as well. So I'll stop on this screen for just a second so you all can look at this screen and see some of the features of the software. And again, we can send out this slideshow, and also this is being recorded too. So let's get into the software then, now that you know a little bit more about NetSuite. And as Dee Dee said, if you have questions, please put into the comment bar, and she will let me know what those questions are, and we can get them answered. So what I did is I've already opened up NetSuite, and this is the main menu of the system. So I know it's probably a lot to take in when you first look at it, but I'm going to step you through it a little bit. And again, this is just an overview today, and if you want to see more, we'll be glad to do that on a one-to-one basis. So this is my dashboard. So I'm logged in as Alex Wolf and as an administrator. So as an administrator, I can see everything. This dashboard is totally customizable. So I can put anything on this dashboard that I want to that's in the system. So over on the right, I've said that I want to see executive financials, bank balance, receivables, sales, that type of thing. And I'm going to drill down into this in just a second. Then if I scroll down, and you'll notice the way that NetSuite is laid out, it's almost like a website. You know how you scroll down on a website, so it's very similar to a website. So then I've said I want to see my AR aging here, and then I'm going to come back to this in just a second. If I scroll down, I want to see bank balance, and on here on the bank balance, I can say I want that to be a straight line or a line. I want that to be a bar. I want that to be different. Over here on the right, I can compare it between the years. So there's a lot of different ways that I can change these charts. So I have an audit trail as well. Then I can see, because I'm an administrator, I can see employee information as well on my dashboard. And then down at the bottom, I've said I want to see my calendar. And any of these dashlets you can put in any place that you want to on the screen. So it's very flexible on that as well. Then over on the left-hand side, I have yearly employee trend, so I can see yearly, or I can look at it and say quarterly, what do my employees look like. So one of the things that I like about this is you saw when I changed that it quickly changed the chart. I didn't have to do anything to refresh it. It just quickly changed the chart. And then here's an aging summary also on a chart, and I can see who the customers are here as well. And then change some of my options here too. So there's all kinds of different options. KPI measurement, I can do that on income, or I can do cost of goods sold. Again, it changes it. Maybe I want to do expenses, actual versus forecast. I have a lot of different options that I can do on these KPI meters as well. And then you'll notice each one of these, I can print the chart, I can download it, I can do a PDF document. So there's a lot of ways that I can get that information out of the system. And then also over here on the KPI, key performance indicators here, I can see I have 15 current tasks that I need to pay attention to. I have 55 open cases also, and there's my income, my cost of goods sold, and my expenses. So it's a real quick snapshot of the company and what's going on there. And then this block under reminders, this is one of the ones that I really like on here. So you can see I have bills to pay, and remember I'm in as administrator, so I'm seeing all of this. But let's say that I am I'm in shipping, and it tells me I have 162 orders to fulfill. Well, if I'm in shipping, that's all I'm going to see. I'm not going to see all the rest of this. So the system processes the workflows through to the proper person. So if I'm set up to be, I'm bill in shipping, and I'm going to see, oh my gosh, I've got 162 orders to fulfill, I can click on it, and it's going to drill me down into those orders and show me which ones need to be fulfilled and what I need to do. So here's all my orders, and I'm at the process of they need to be fulfilled, and I need to do something with them. So from my dashboard, I can see different things that I need to do. So there's calls to complete, purchase orders to bill. I have bills to pay, orders to ship. So again, if I am in shipping and things have been fulfilled and I need to ship them, I'm going to see it there. So all of that is there on that dashboard. This is one of the things that I really like on this dashboard. And if I go back over to my executive financials, you can drill down into these any of these buckets here. So you'll see where my little mouse finger is. I can click on that because I say, oh my gosh, $4 million. What makes up that $4 million? And it's going to tell me checking, savings, payroll account, petty cash, cash on hand makes up that $4 million. So from that dashboard, I can drill down into that data and see what makes up those numbers, which is really nice. So if I looked at sales, it's going to tell me who made up those sales. So Honeycomb Manufacturing and then Smith also made up those sales. And then again, while I'm here, so again, from my dashboard, I can drill down into these transactions or drill down into those customers. So from the dashboard, I can see all that information just by the click of my mouse. So that makes it nice. Again, these dashboards are totally customizable. So you'll see personalize here. Click down and you just choose what you want. And again, we train you how to do these. So it depends on what you want on your dashboard. It can be set up for you. So, and we help with that. Couple other things while we're, yes.
We have a question.
Uh-huh.
The question is, can you download chart data information into Excel?
Yes, you can. Mm-hmm. You absolutely can.
Okay, great. Thank you.
On this, so if you mean the chart here, like this executive financials, for example, I can do an export, and it will export out to Excel. So I think on here too, I had an option on some of the other ones where I can export out as well. So there's a download to that, or print the chart. This one you can download to Excel, but all of them you could have that option to download to Excel.
Great, thanks.
So then, thank you, Dee Dee. Then it also across the top, over on the left, I have all my recent records. So if I go in, I'm looking at a customer, and I come back out, and I think, oh no, I need to go back and look at that customer again, I could just go into my recent records and pull that up. So it shows me all my recent records. The little star here is my favorites. So I can just make things my favorites. So if I'm always looking at customers, or I'm doing something with purchase orders, that type of thing, I can just make those my favorite. Little house is going back to the dashboard. So wherever I am, I can click that little house, and it's going to take me back to this beginning, back to the home. The other feature that I really like on here is this global search, because I can type in anything and it's going to find it. So let's say if I type in Oasis, it doesn't really matter if Oasis is a customer or a vendor or what it is. You'll notice I have a couple of customer records. I have a vendor called Oasis. I have some contact information down here. So it's going to find whatever that is in the database. So it's kind of like a Google search. So I like that. I think that's a really nice feature. So let me go into a couple things that I wanted to tell you about is that I'll touch on a little bit, but not a whole lot, is that the CRM the customer relationship management is built into the system. So you'll see when I go into a customer that you'll see not only invoices and customer information, you'll see other information like opportunities and things that would come from a sales module. So you'll see that. Also, what's built in are workflows. So they're called suite flows, but they, and a really good example of that is if I wanted to route a purchase order approval or an accounts payable approval, whichever, to someone else before it gets entered finally into the system, I can enter it in, and then when I save it, it will do that routing. So if I said, well, when I enter in an invoice, and maybe it's an invoice that's over $1,000, it gets routed to Dee Dee, perhaps, and then she was able to see it and approve it, and it goes into the system. So there's a lot of different workflows that are built into the system, and that can look, we've seen people do some pretty interesting things with those workflows and being able to do approvals and things like that. A lot of it is on purchase orders. We just did one for a customer on purchase orders that they wanted to have that workflow go to the purchasing manager. So maybe I could do a requisition as an employee, but then it doesn't get entered in as a PO until the purchasing manager approves it. So that's an example of a really good workflow that's built into the system. And again, we can help set those up. So across the top, I can, under activities, I can do scheduling of activities. So that means that I could schedule activities for somebody else. So if I said, I want Dee Dee, one of Dee Dee's functions here is she calls our customers proactively about projects. But let's say if I said, I want Dee Dee to call somebody tomorrow and find out about this project that's working on. I can schedule a phone call for her, and it would appear on her dashboard here for calls to complete. So any of those activities I can schedule for myself or for somebody else. So I can set those up, and it will appear on their dashboard. So that makes it nice. I'm going to come back to transactions in just a minute because I want to go in and do a transaction. Under lists is where I can see the list of any, like if I want to look up customers or vendors and see that information, I can see that under the list. So if I go under relationships and I go to customers, it opens up my list of customers. And I can, you'll see on here that the edit button is clicked on because I have supervisor rights. So that what that means is I can do inline editing. So while I'm here, I don't have to go into the customer record. I could, let's say I talked to this customer today and they said, we changed our phone number. So instead of me clicking into the customer record and changing it, I can just do an inline edit here and change it right there. And then it goes back and changes the customer record. So again, I have that capability because I am logged in as an admin. So I can also turn that off as well. Then over on the left, you'll see I'm on this customer Oasis. Over on the left, you'll notice that menu drop down. So again, I don't have to go into the customer to create any of these things. So I can create a new opportunity for sales, a new quote, a new order, a new invoice. I could do an email, a letter, a new task. So there's a lot of things that I can do right from the list without having to go into the customer record, which I like that too. I think that's nice. The other thing that's on here too is you'll notice this button here, it says Customer Dashboard. So I can click on Customer Dashboard and it will drill me down into all the information about that customer. So each customer has their own personal dashboard. So there's my customer, my primary information, who's my sales and marketing contact. Here's financial information about them, what's overdue, what's their balance, days overdue, initial contact date. So everything I want to know about that customer is on their dashboard. So this is their specific dashboard. And I can, again, this is customizable, so don't think that, it's like overwhelming, but so it can be customizable. But there's a lot of information I can see just at a glance about these customers from looking at their dashboard. So I can see top 5 items by sales, so I can see what items we've sold them. What are my top 5 items here? So there's a lot of different ways I can see that. And then there's dashboard links, so I can look in here and look at total pipeline by customer, unbilled. So there's a lot of different information I can see for that specific customer. KPI meter, overdue balance. So again, very quickly I can see the information on these dashboards. So I like that. It's like several people have said, I want to see a customer card. To me, that's kind of a customer card where you see everything about that customer. So I'm going to go in and do a view of this particular customer. Again, you have all their basic information, and the system allows you to make changes to these screens. So you can add fields or take fields off, rearrange fields however you want to. So you can make it more of your own. So again, it's like a web page. I can scroll down and I can see financial information. I can roll that up. Here's some sales information. Again, I can roll that up. Address information. Any communications that have gone on with this customer. I really like this because it gives you a total view of your customer. So, how many times have you thought, I wonder if somebody in customer service or in sales has talked to that customer. This gives you a total view of the customer. So no matter where that's coming from, whether it's from customer service or a salesperson or another person in the office, as long as they log it in here, you're going to see all that communication in one place. And I can email things out, I can attach, I can do a letter, PDF, so I have a lot of different options. Then I have some marketing information and then some campaigns. So you can run marketing campaigns out of here as well. Oops, sorry. Roll that up. Subscriptions, and then you'll see here a lot of different things. I'm not going to open each one of these, but there's for marketing keywords, click streams, page hits, all that type of thing. And then you have relationships, so you have your contacts here as well, and it just goes on. Support, cases. This is one of the things that's built into the system as well that I like that we have several customers that use. So let's say that you sell a product that the customer might call and say, I need to return this because it was defective when I got it or something was broken on it. There is a return material authorization built into the system, and also you can log a case. And that way, again, going back to the customer being a whole view, 360 view of that customer, you're going to see any cases. So if I'm a salesperson, I want to know, are my customers that I'm selling to, are they having problems with our products? And so cases can be logged. And again, you can use the the suite flows to route that. So if you said, well, if I log in a case for this customer, I want the salesperson on the account to always know. Then, or you want, somebody in Q&A to know. So you can use the routing to do that as well. But we see several customers use those cases and support. So that's really nice. System notes, again, it just goes on. There's a lot of different information you can put on here. There's an org chart down here at the bottom. A lot of different information that you can keep on the customer. But don't look at it and say, oh my gosh, that's way too much information, because we can take off what you don't need. So that's not a problem at all. And then still under this customer, under actions, I can generate a statement. I can see all the transactions. I can show the activity. So I can do a lot of different things from here too. So here's all the transactions with the different invoices and things. So again, you can drill down just like most systems. You can drill down on the invoice and see the detail of the invoice also while you're there. So that gives me the detail of the invoice. You can also see the billing. I can see the shipping, gross profit actually of that order, any activities or history, audit trail and workflow, quote approvals, sales order approvals. So there's a lot of different information that you can get on that customer and on those invoices straight from one screen, so which is really nice. So let me go back. Whoops. Sorry, I went too far. Then under, so we were under list and looking at customers as well. So there's a lot of different, so you have customers, vendors, prospects, partners, a lot of different things you can see there. And then under the reports, I'm going to go to the AR aging summary because this is nice because I can, from this report, I can drill down on either the customer record or on that transaction from this report. So I can see what that invoice is and then drill down on it, and it's going to show me what is on that invoice. So from the report, I'm able to drill down and see everything that was on that invoice, as well as if I wanted to see customer information too. So several different options on there on any of these reports. You're able to drill down and see more information on it. And also on this report, down here at the bottom, I can do my as of or today. I have different aging options, so I can do a 30, 60, 90, 120, whatever it is. And those things I can do on the fly. So if I said, well, maybe I want to look at it 45 days. So I can look at 45 days, or if I want to look at it in months, maybe every 3 months or something like that. So there's different options there as well. And then any of these reports, you'll see down at the bottom, I can export any of those out. I can email it, I can print it, I can export it out to Word, Excel, do a PDF. So there's different options on every report. You're able to export it out of the system as well. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about, because it's a little bit different than some other systems that we work with, but the chart of accounts does not contain, I'll show you the numbers, does not contain departments or locations. So if I had multiple departments that I'm keeping track of on my financial statements, or divisions or locations, whatever it is, they're not held in the GL account number. They are actually held as it's called a dimension. And you can still report on them, but it doesn't make your chart of accounts huge with all that information. We had a customer that has 27 different locations. And so in a traditional chart of accounts, you're going to have, almost every account is going to have 27 accounts, because you'd have a, account number dash something. So this was nice because they didn't have to have that. And I'm going to go in and do an accounts payable transaction in a second, and you'll see how that works. But it allows you to still use that data in reporting, but it's not part of your chart of accounts, which is nice. I like that. That's one of the things that I like about this system. And then also under reports, of course, it comes with income statements, balance sheets, the traditional trial balance, that type of thing. So it's all all there. And again, on this report, on the financial statement, I can drill down into the detail from the report of what that account is. So on that one, I can see all the detail of that sales account. All my transactions from that account are on there from that report. And again, I'm going to go back to that. You can see that on your phone or your iPad. So if you're out and maybe you're in a meeting with a finance person and they say, well, what was that sales number for last month? Just log in on your phone and you're able to see that information and also drill down on it just like you saw me do from your mobile. So makes it really nice. And then down here at the bottom, I can change all kinds of dates and time periods and things from right here on the screen. I don't have to go back out every time I want to change something on I can just do the refresh, change the dates and do the refresh, and it's going to bring in new numbers. So it makes it easy, very easy. So the reporting is very easy, very flexible on here as well. You have some customizations that you can do, and then documents is another function that's on here too. So you'll see a filing cabinet. So I can hold documents here that that are attached to records like customers, vendors, that type of thing, or not. So even if I had just documents that I didn't want to attach to anything, but I wanted to use it as a filing cabinet, you can do that as well. So that option is there too. And there's a fixed assets module, so if you want to do your fixed assets in here as well. And then a knowledge base over here on the right-hand side, and there's help here at the top. This button is like a quick, I can get into customers, I can get into vendors and cases and things quickly up here at the top. And I can personalize that drop down as well. So if I go back over to transactions, I'm going to go into accounts payable and enter bills. So this is where, when I get an accounts payable invoice, where I would enter that in. So I am going to use Oasis as the vendor. I should probably be more creative, but that's what I have. And then subsidiary, so if I had multiple, actually I think I'm not going to use Oasis. I think I'm going to use Addy. If I had multiple subsidiaries, then I could choose a subsidiary there as well. And then my invoice number, and I'm going to tab for my invoice date. And it also comes with multi-currency. So you can set up multiple currencies with the exchange rate in here as well. And then my terms, 1%, 10, 30. And down at the bottom is where I would put in my account. So I'm going to say professional fee. So I can just type in, well, that didn't work, what my account number, what my account is, and it's going to pull up that account number as well. Let me see. Oh, damaged goods. And then you'll see location. So this is where I was telling you on the GL account number. So here my GL account number is 5040. And then my location, also I can put in my off my list, or I can just type it in, my different locations, and then my departments, my classes, and then the dollar amount. So, I'm sorry, I'm going to go back to my Oasis vendor, because I'm not getting any data down here at the bottom. Here we go. So my location is going to be Chattanooga. So I'm going to do Chattanooga. And then my department is going to be admin. And so you'll see how it filled it in. So my class is accessories. And again, you don't have to have all these. If you don't have them, they wouldn't appear there. But this particular company has multiple locations, departments, classes, and they all pertain to a segment of the chart of accounts. I can also, if I want to say this relates to a customer, I can do that, or a project. I could do that as well. And then just save. Credit limit was exceeded. So that's, but what I wanted to show you on there was the way the GL account number is structured. So I have my account number, location, department, class. Typically that would be in the chart of accounts. With this, it's not, and it provides so much more flexibility with the chart of accounts and data entry, I think. So I really like that. So now my bill is in there, and it's in open status. If I go to my actions, I can do a new one. I could copy this one. I could go to the register. I can show the GL impact of this particular invoice as well. And then again, I have other options that I can do here, creating contacts, emails, letters. So there's a lot of different places that you can do information. So most of the screens look like that, have similar information. If I'm doing invoicing to customers and things like that, that it's very similar. But everything is laid out instead of in modules, it's more in types of transactions, types of lists, types of reports. So you have different options there. So that's what a customer would look like under transactions. And then under inventory, we have some inventory things there, and then there's manufacturing and then demand planning as well. So there's some manufacturing. Again, a very robust system as far as functionality and ease of use, I think. Also. So are there any other questions or things that we want to look at, Dee Dee?
No, it doesn't look like it right now.
Okay, great. Well, I appreciate everybody coming. I'm sorry there was a little bit of technical glitch earlier with not being able to see my PowerPoint clearly, but we have recorded this and we can send the PowerPoint out for everybody. So I appreciate everybody coming.
Annette,
and
Annette,
yes.
I'm sorry, a question did just come in, if you have a moment.
Sure.
Is there a capacity planning tool integrated into NetSuite?
There is a capacity planning tool that is a Suite app add-on. So it is an add-on to it. But what I'll tell you about the apps that are in a product like NetSuite is that they are fully integrated. They're not just sort of third-party outside the system. So they're a lot more integrated in than traditional software. But yes, there is.
Okay, and another question is, how difficult is it to migrate from Sage 100 to NetSuite?
Well, there's two aspects to that question. One of them being the data. So we've done that with several of our Sage 100 customers, and of course, since we know both systems, we can export the data out and then import it. There's an import tool into NetSuite. So you'd have to determine how much of that data do you want. Do you want all the detail history, or just vendors, customers, and balances? So that's something we would work through. But we've done that for several customers, so that's easy. The second piece to that is you can see that it's very different from Sage 100. So there's a learning curve there. With any software you go to, there's going to be a learning curve, but there's definitely a learning curve there between the two systems. So, but again, you know, we would help you with that. We've done it several times for other customers. So I wouldn't say that it's difficult. It's just time-consuming.
That looks like that's all the questions. Thank you.
Okay. Great. Thanks, Dee Dee. And thanks, everybody, for coming. And we will have the recording and the PowerPoint available to you. Thank you.
Thank you.